On the news, President Muhammadu Buhari orders prosecution of NFF President Amaju Pinnick over alleged multi-billion naira scam. Federal government, Nigeria Labour Congress to reconvene on Monday. Germany's cybersecurity authorities criticized for passing late information on attacks to the police. Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man. A warm welcome to you. Thank you for staying tuned to the People's Tele Ogtv. This is the Ogtv News. I am Mujisola Shulaja. In fulfillment of its desire to bequeath a generation ready for state leadership in the country, President Muhammadu Buhari has admonished the youth to adequately prepare themselves for political leadership, as his generation will eventually quit the scene for them to take over. Receiving the Ohaneze-Ndigbo Youth Wing led by the acting national leader, Kingsley Dozie Lawrence, President Buhari described Nigerian youth as critical component of the Nigerian project. The president said a greater part of the Nigerian population is made up of youth who are not only vital and active, but also factors in the Change Nigeria project.
Must begin to groom themselves for the leadership of Nigeria. Much sooner than later, we will leave the stage and you will take over. You must have to equip yourselves properly.
Welcomed the group for appreciating its administration's efforts at providing the much-needed infrastructure across Nigeria and also ensuring the availability and price stability of petroleum products during the Yuletide. He promised to, at all times, say that the resources of Nigeria work for Nigerians.
Of Nigerians, we shall make a difference.
On the industrial action embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, President Buhari expressed the hope that good reason will prevail in the ongoing talks between the federal government and the representatives of the union. Leader of the Ohaneze-Ndigbo Youth Wing hailed the Buhari administration for stabilizing the economy, improving the security situation, and sustaining the development of infrastructure.
And we extend our hands of partnership to your administration that guarantee the interest and welfare of Ndebo. There is no gainsaying the fact that your administration has impacted the Igbos in some positive way. You are talking to do. You say it and you do it. Thank you so much.
The youth leader made a strong presentation, among others, the actualization of Igbo presidency in 2023, as well as kickstarting a process for the creation of additional states in the southeast. The federal government and organized labor have agreed to reconvene next week Monday to enable them conclude their discussion over the national minimum wage. Both parties spoke to the media after the meeting, which lasted for 7 hours.
We have actually discussed all the issues and all the areas, particularly how we can be able to ensure that this issue is put behind us. And clearly that is why we took so much of this time, including going out to have some time out to consult, but we have not been able to conclude. And we have agreed to reconvene on Monday. The issues at stake clearly is about making sure that the bill is translated, and also other auxiliary issues that government said they are trying to put together to be able to do that. So those are the major issues that we also want to see how the money gets into the pocket of our workers.
In progress. At the point, we have made substantial progress.
Is it a negotiation of what? Progress in terms of what?
Progress in terms of the transmission of the new national minimum wage bill. Discussed well. The sons were not rebelling. We are taking appropriate steps as required of us. by law.
So is there any hope that workers will be able to get this minimum wage before the 2019 election?
The president is not committed to it. He will put up the National Minimum Wage Committee in the first instance.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved 161 billion naira as 2018 Tertiary Education Trust Fund intervention activities in accordance with the provisions of the Third Fund Act 2011. To this end, each public university in Nigeria will get an allocation of 785,832,700, polytechnics 536 million naira, and colleges of education 510 million naira. Third Fund Executive Secretary Dr. Bichi Bafa said the detailed breakdown of the allocations will be released after the fund communicates the allocation letters to the institutions. He, however, disclosed that Third Fund has made tremendous progress in the past few years, particularly in increase in education tax collection and strict monitoring of institutional compliance, attributing it to huge support received from the federal government. He confirmed that disbursements to universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education in 2018 fund disbursement for period of January to December 2018 and with cuts across the various intervention lines was 133.84 billion naira. He added that universities got 66.93 billion naira, polytechnics 32.37 billion naira, and colleges of education 32.65 billion naira. He revisited the 2018 achievement, which he said contributed to the sanitization of the total Third Fund operational system. As the holidays for the first time 2018-2019 academic session draw to an end, parents have been advised to make early arrangements for their wards ahead of school's resumption. This was the views of stakeholders who spoke with Ogtv News on preparations for resumption for the second term academic session. Ife Sholoadi reports.
After 3 weeks break, public and private primary and secondary schools in Ogun State are expected to resume for the 2018-2019 second term academic session, which commenced on Monday, 7th of January 2019. While speaking with Ogtv News, some educationists advised parents to complement the efforts of government at ensuring qualitative education for their children.
For the mere fact that government has said free education in Ogun State, the parents have decided to neglect all their responsibilities to government, including buying of stationaries. In some instances, students will just come to school without even having any menu. So all these things are counterproductive to the free education policy of Ogun State, except that our people can gear up to their responsibilities.
Government too is trying all its best by implementing series of workshops and seminars in order to update acquired skills by the teachers from different schools.
They also charge teachers to improve on their level of professionalism.
One needs to learn more in order to fit into the society. As the teachers are progressing, the pupils themselves, they do tap from the acquired knowledge of the teachers.
No matter the circumstances, let us always put in the best. Education sector is faced with a lot of challenges, but we should not allow that one to deter us. We should, at any point in time, try our best and make sure that we improve on what we have.
They commended the government's feeding program, which has not only relieved the parents' financial burden, but also helps the pupils psychologically.
Over the years, human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, have released sufficient quantities of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases to trap additional heat in the lower atmosphere, and affect the global climate. In view of this, Kunle Ibikunle takes a look at the effect of climate change on health and how to prevent it.
Although global warming may bring some localized benefit, such as fewer winter's death, as the case in some countries in temperature climates, and increased food production in certain areas, the overall health effects of a changing climate are likely to be overwhelmingly negative. Climate change, according to experts, affects social and environmental determinants of health: clean air, safe drinking water, sufficient food, and secure shelter.
Because of the global warming, there is negative impact on production of agricultural products. So now, when there's that now, people will not feed well. There will be malnutrition, and when there is malnutrition, there is reduced immunity. Then in children, we have children having things like kwashiorkor, having marasmus, and in adults, there will be severe wasting.
Climate is very important, especially when health is concerned. Either when we are talking in terms of the dry weather or the wet season, either of them have severe effects on health. For example, look at this time that we have now, dry season. There are a lot of viral infections that could occur at this point in time. This is time people will come with flu, complain of catarrh, cough, sore throats, and all that.
Extreme high air temperatures contribute directly to death from cardiovascular and respiratory diseases, particularly among the elderly people. Medical experts say high temperature also raise the level of ozone and other pollutants in the air and exacerbates cardiovascular and respiratory disease.
Heat that we are having now, because of the depletion of the ozone layer, which is like the protective stuff that we have. Now the sun, people are being exposed to ultraviolet rays, and these ultraviolet rays can lead to cancer of the skin, especially in the albinos and the people that use bleaching creams. And also, there could be cases of respiratory tract infections.
Respiratory tract infection and all that. So the climate, as a factor, contributes immensely to health hazards, as the case may be.
Speaking on how to combat the hazards that are associated with climate change, a medical expert says it is advisable to reduce the use of fossil fuels, deforestation, and gas, as it will go a long way in keeping the ozone layer safe.
Building of our houses, then wearing of protective clothes, no sunshade. Then when there is sun, you don't go out in the sun. So, and also health education of our people. You know, if they know the effect that this thing is causing, they won't go around cutting woods. There will be minimal, there will be reduction in the use of petrol, kerosene to generate power. So these are some of the things that we could do to reduce the negative effect of climatic change on human beings.
Experts therefore admonish the general public to visit hospital whenever they have any health challenge and shun self-medication.
The news will continue shortly after this commercial break. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Easier. They brought us per second billing unbelievable data packages and even an optic fiber cable to make sure we optimize. There are two things in our lives which depend on the communication and information, voice and data. Whether you sell, buy, learn, teach, serve, or lead, it really comes out those two things, voice or data. Today's world is all about you. You want what you want, how you want it, and Glow delivers. The freedom to use voice and data the way you like on every recharge. Easy.
Glow Yakata, the heavyweight voice and data plan. You charge 100 Naira and get 2,200 Naira. Minimum 500 Naira to call all networks and 10 friends and family. Plus all the data you need, up to 6 gigabytes. Buy a Glow SIM or dial *220# to migrate. Glow, Grandmasters of Data.
You most welcome back. You're still watching the Ogtv News. The Ogun State Community Development and Cooperatives has started the year 2019 on a good note as it officially presented certificates to Bisodo Area Development Committee and Ofada Mokoloki Local Council Development Area. Elizabeth Esso reports that with the presentation of certificates to Bisodo Development Committee, it is now a full-fledged CDA recognized by the state government. Her reports.
Official presentation of certificates to Bisodo Area Community Development Committee in Ofada Mokoloki LCDA by the Ogun State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, led by its Commissioner, Honorable Francis Bengade Moshun. According to the Commissioner, the ceremony, which was the Ministry's first outing this year, is as a result of the area CDC meeting the necessary requirements for certification.
They should not rest on their hours. They should continue to support the government because in Ogun State today, our communities are growing very fast. And the best way that we can bring everybody together is the creation of the area CDCs, such that they will live in harmony and they will take all the problem of security away from the government.
The chairman of Ofada Area CDC, Engineer Gboyega Adeleke, appreciates the state governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, on the recent grants in aid and subventions in which Bisodo Area CDC benefited, and promises to be more responsive to execution of several projects in the area.
Bisodo Area CDC have been positioned to compete with other community development organizations in sustainable and accelerated development for the growth of aforementioned town in order to protect our individual and corporate investments within the area.
Honorable Kudirat Balogun, chairman of Ofada Mokoloki SCDA, in our words, confirms that the council will not relent in its efforts at supporting area community development committees.
They have been helping the Ofada Mokoloki SCDA to grade some roads in Ofada Mokoloki SCDA. They have been helping Ofada Mokoloki to construct some building, some renovated building. I give glory to Almighty God for them to make sure they still support the SCDA so that the community can grow well.
Also speaking at the ceremony was the State Director, Community Development and Acting Permanent Secretary, Aliaji Mojid Shomiola, encouraged the ACDA not to relent on their efforts, but strive more in order to attract more dividends of democracy from the state government. Goodwill messages were delivered by dignitaries present at the occasion, among whom was the Baale of Bisodo, High Chief Oluseye Ogunwale, who spoke on behalf of other royal fathers present. Elizabeth Esson, Ogtv News.
Electorates in Ogun West Senatorial District have been charged not to allow any form of electoral malpractice from any individual, but cast and stand by the vote for the candidate of the Allied People's Movement in the coming general elections. The party's gubernatorial candidate in Ogun State, Honorable Adekunle Abdul Kabir Akinlade, stated this while addressing party faithful in Imekwa for local government area during the electioneering campaign. Peter Falomo reports.
The Day 2 of Allied People's Movement campaign organization took the campaign train to the palace of Onimeko of Imeko to seek the royal blessing of Oba Benjamin Olanite for Honorable Adekunle Akinlade ahead of the 2019 general elections. The visit became an opportunity for some elders from the zone to clear the air on their presentation of Honorable Akinlade as he was choice candidate.
We all unanimously agreed. Honorable Kabir Kole Akinlade Olami Olayo Ọlọ́run á ti gba àgbà bẹ́ẹ̀ pípẹ́ láti mú òun jáde. I have foot soldiers. I mean the state assembly, 26 assemblies. I have 9 reps. I have 3 senators, a company of 3 senators that are passionate and ready to make sure that this vision and this dream of the West agenda come to pass.
In his speech, Oba Olanite says he believes in Honorable Akinlade to come out victorious in March 2nd governorship election.
Mi ò ní fi ojú po òjò, èyí amúsùn ṣe, ibi ó bá lọ, ibi ó wẹ̀ fùfú lẹ̀lẹ̀, mo darí ìbò sí. So, ìyẹn mo fi sọ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé bàbá yẹn ló mọ̀ sí wíwá síbí ní wọ́n ti ṣílẹ̀kùn lẹ̀kẹ́ tó dé. Nítorí ìdí èyí, ẹ káàbọ̀ lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin.
Other wards visited in Imeko-Afon local government area include Oke-Agbede, Iwoye-Ketu, Idofa, as well as Ilara ward. Party loyalists say it is their belief that the APM governorship candidate, Honorable Akinlade, will emerge victorious in the gubernatorial race.
Ọmọ èèyàn dáadáa ni à ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kọ́dà àwa ń gbàdúrà fún un pé Ọlọ́run á gbé e dépò kò ní kùnà á wọlé lágbára Ọlọ́run.
We are fully contribute that Akinlade to be the next governor of Ogun State, but inshallah is going to be the next governor of Ogun State, inshallah lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Imeko-Afon á deliver ẹ̀ fún Akinlade
Earlier was the visit of Honorable Akinlade and his campaign group to the Celestial City, Imeko, for spiritual blessing. The team also took time out to worship at the Central Mosque, Imeko, for Jumat service. At the Central Campaign rally that took place in the town, Honorable Adekunle Abdulkabir Akinlade assures the people of meeting with their expectations and building upon infrastructure development.
And come March 2nd, I want every one of us to go out there and take charge of our future, for the future of our children, the future of this great state, for the love of this state. We must vote APM.
The people were thereafter enjoined to vote and ensure that their votes count. Peter Falomo, Ogtv News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Ogun State, says the permanent voter cards for eligible voters who registered between 2011 and 2014, particularly those with short voters identification number and those who registered during the continuous voters registration exercise, are available for collection at ward collection centers with effect from Tuesday 8th to Saturday 12th January 2019 between 9 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon daily. Affected citizens are to present their temporary voters card, TVC, earlier issued in exchange for the permanent voters card, and if the TVC is lost, they are to come along with passport photographs as proof of identity. Issuance is free, while collection by proxy is not allowed. The vote is a power, hence they should ensure collection of their permanent voter cards. The 10th year anniversary of Bobakeye Club of Ebeland holds on Sunday, 6th of January 2019. The event, which is also to honor the Ogun State Governor, Senator Bikula Moson, and other illustrious sons and daughters of Ebeland, will take place at DLK Event Center, Abiola Way, Abeokuta, starting from 10 in the morning. Special guest of honor is Senator Ibikula Moson, the Governor of Ogun State, while his wife, Dr. Mrs. Olufunsha Moson, will be the chairperson of the day. The royal father of the day is Oba Adedotun Aremu Badebo, the Alake and paramount ruler of Ebeland, among other dignitaries expected to grace the occasion. Germany's cybersecurity authorities have been criticized after it emerged they knew about a mass data attack on hundreds of politicians for weeks, but did not tell the police. Journalists, celebrities, and politicians, including Chancellor Angela Merkel, are among those whose personal data was published online. The attacks took place throughout December but did not become public knowledge until Friday. It is unclear who was responsible. The contacts, private chats, and financial details of figures from every political party except the far right, AFD, were posted on Twitter. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the prosecution of the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, Amaju Pinnick, over an alleged multi-billionaire scam in the organization. It was also learned that the federal government, through the Presidential Investigative Panel, headed by Mr. Okoye Bonobla, had placed Pinnick on a travel ban. It was gathered that President Buhari gave the order for Pinnick's prosecution when the panel presented a preliminary report to him. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, also addressed a report on the NFF to the president, detailing the outcome of their investigations, which tallied with the Presidential Investigative Panel had submitted to the president. It's now time to bring you weather forecast. And finally in the news, be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man. That ends the news. We thank you for watching. Bye for now.